ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। Hari Om. Hari Om and welcome. I am going to chant the Mangalacharan and then the Vastu Sangraha. Vasudevendra Yogendram Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate. Now the Vastu Sangraha Vakya. Sadhan Chatushta Sampan Adhikarinam Moksha Sadhan Bhutam Tattva Vivek Prakaram Vakshyamaha. In the Vastu Sangraha Vakya, Acharya has promised that he will give us the method of inquiry into Tattva Vivek. So this is what we are doing. However, at the cost of repetition, we must remember that only those who are endowed with the fourfold qualifications would be able to get full benefit of this inquiry, as only they are Hari Om, Hari Om, as only those with the fourfold qualifications are entitled, adhikarina. Right? So we should all make redoubled efforts to acquire the fourfold qualifications, because otherwise understanding Tattva Vivek is difficult. So we have finished fourfold qualifications. We are now inquiring into what is Tattva Vivek. And Acharya has said that Tattva Vivek is Atma Satyam Tadanyat Sarvam Mithyati. Only Atma is Satya and everything else other than Atma is Mithyati. So out here one must be very careful to understand that Satyam is being said to be real, and anything other than Satya, other than Atma, is unreal, not Asatya. That is Mithya. So Asatya does not exist, but Mithya exists, but it is negatable. That is a feature of Mithya. But Atma exists and is ever unchanging. So this distinguishing feature between Atma and Anatma, not Atma, is Atma is Nitya, it is unchanging and hence called Satya, and everything else is Anitya and changing. Right? And that is called Mithya. And if you remember, there is a similarity between how Brahman or Brahma has been defined and how Atma has been defined. When we did the Nitya Nitya Vivek, then we defined in terms of only Brahman is Nitya. Okay, now what is Atma? This is the question that comes up, and that is the method of inquiry that Acharya has taken up. He'll say one thing and then define it in other words. So, what is Atma? Question mark. And here he defines in a negative way. First, other than the gross, subtle and causal bodies. Sthul, Sukshma, Karan, Sharir, Ad, Vyatirekta. Vyatirekta is other than the three bodies. And Panch Koshatit, beyond the five koshas. Avastha Traya Sakshi, it's the witness of the three states. See the difference? First, it is not this. Now, what is this? It is a witness, but still you don't know what it is. These are the characteristics, a pointer only. It is a witness of the three states. Now, what is the Swarup of it? It is Satchidanand Swarup. This is Atma. And in this, we had already studied the gross Sharir. Sthul Shariram can we have studied. And that is, what is the Sthul Sharir? It is one which is Sukh Dukh Adi Bhog Ayatanam. It is the abode of your joys and sorrows. It is where you enjoy everything and you experience all sorrows. And what is Sukshma Sharir? It is Sukh Dukh Adi Bhog Sadhanam. Sadhanam means instrument of. So, difference between the two is one, gross is perceived, subtle, Sukshma is not perceived. Gross is the house of joys and sorrows you experience on that body, but how do you experience? Through the subtle body. And that is what led Ira to ask last time. Acharya, Guruji had said, subtle body is the real cause of all our success and failures in life. So because it is through the subtle body that you enjoy or do everything else, so it becomes a cause of success and failure also. Because you are doing it through the subtle body. Right? So now what are we on to? We are on to organs of perception. Gyan Indriyani. Earlier, what was the topic? We have finished Gyan Indriyani, isn't it? We are now on to organs of action. So Gyan Indriyani were those that enabled us to draw knowledge of the world through the five sense organs of perception. Now we are doing Karma Indriyani, the five organs of action. So they are Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha, Iti. If you remember, I had said whenever Iti is used in Sanskrit, it is tantamount to full stop. There are no full stops in Sanskrit, they use the word Iti. Vak, Pani, Pad, Payu, Upastha. Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha, Iti, Upasthan, Iti, Panch Karmendriyani. These are the five Karmendriyanis. So what are they? They are Vak is speech, Pani is hands, Pad is feet, Payu is excretion, Upastha is procreation. So these five are the organs of action. Who are the governing? Yeah.
Arunji, did we go in detail with the five sense organs? Because I thought we just did the reading of it.
Okay.
We didn't do the explanation.
Okay. I am a bit confused.
I'm not sure.
No. You could be right because I was also doubting. But I think we have to thank you for pointing out. Somebody has to keep track and point out. I hope everybody is on the same page. We have not done the organs of perception.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So let's do this. Shrotram, I am reading this is on page 45 and I have marked it as verse number 19. Organs of perception. Shrotram Tvak Chakshushaha. Shrotram is ears. Tvak is skin. Chakshushaha is ears. Rasna Granam Iti. Rasna is tongue. Granam is smell. Iti, as I said, is a full stop. These are the five Panch Gyan Indriyani. Then, now we have what are called the governing deities. In our belief, we do not think that eyes, the physical eyes that you have, they empower us to see. For instance, we say that even a dead man has eyes, or a blind man has eyes. They don't have the powers. What lends power to them is the presiding deity of that particular sense perception. So he is defining what are the names of those deities. So Shotrasya, of the hearing, it is Dig Devata. Dig Devata is the space. Since sound travels in space, so it is Dig Devata. Tvacho Vayuhu. Tvacho is skin. The presiding deity of that is air. Chakshusha Suryaha. Of the eyes, it is the sun. Rasnaya Varunaha. Of tongue, that which gives rise to taste, it is Lord Varun or water. Just as you have Surya is a physical body and Surya Devta is the presiding deity, not to be confused. Similarly, water is the physical body and Varun Devta is the deity presiding that. So the deity of taste is Varun. Granasya Ashvinau. Gran is smell of nose. The presiding deity is Ashvinau. Nau means two. And Ashwini Kumars are twin brothers who are the presiding deity for the sense of smell. Then iti, full stop, Gyan Indriya Devataha. These are the Gyan Indriya Devatas of the organs of sense perception. Now, what are the objects of these sense perceptions? Organs of sense perception. Shotasya Vishayaha Shabda Grahanam. Of the ears, the Vishaya object is to catch the sound. Shabd. Grahanam. Absorb. Catch. Tvacho Vishayaha Sparsh Grahanam. Of the skin, the object is to catch the sense of touch. Sparsh. Right? Chakshusho Vishayaha Rupa Grahanam. So of the eyes it is the form and color. Roop is formed of form and color. Rasnaya Vishaya Rasgrahanam. So of the organ of tongue, taste is, the Vishaya is the taste itself. It absorbs, catches the taste. Granasya Vishaya Gandha Grahanam. Of the organ of smell, it is to catch the smell. Of nose, it is the object is to catch the smell. So I'll just read the text from Guruji's book, Swami Tejomayanandaji's book. The 5 organs of perception are the ears, skin, eyes, tongue and nose. The presiding deities of the organs of perception are space of the ears, air of the skin, the sun of the eyes, water of the tongue, and the 2 Ashwini Kumars of the nose. The fields of experience for the organs of perception are cognition of sound for the ear, cognition of touch for the skin, cognition of form for the eyes, cognition of taste for the tongue, and cognition of smell for the nose. So this is as far as the verse goes. Any question, anything that comes to your mind, what we have read? Anything confusing? We are quite familiar with all this. We did this in class 4 or 5 or 6, somewhere here. Now, why we are doing this? This we have to be very clear. We are talking of Atma. And Atma has been defined that it is not this, it is not this, it is beyond this, and it is this. So, whether it is this or not, that you have to be aware of. We normally, when we talk, we say, I am hearing. We identify like that. I am tasting. So, this is the shift is here. The biological definition remains the same. The shift is in the attitude with which we are studying. The 5 organs of perception have the capacity to hear, located in the ears, feel, located in the skin, see, located in the eyes, taste, located in the tongue, and smell, located in the nose. Through these we perceive the entire world of sound, touch, form, taste, and smell respectively. Each sense organ perceives only its own particular sense objects. There is no admixture of duties. The ears cannot see, nor the nose taste. 1/5 of the world of perception is cut off if one of them fails to function. Remember that our knowledge of the world is only through these 5 sense organs, nothing else. So if one fails, 1/5 of your perception is gone. For example, there is no perception of form and color for the visually challenged. When one of these senses is weak or not functioning, the others become sharper. The visually challenged therefore have keen ears. Knowledge gained through the senses is called direct perception, pratyaksh jnanam. You can also call it jnanam. In South India they call it jnanam, North India they call it jnanam. Most of our knowledge is by direct perception or based on it. Based on what we perceive, we respond. So how is it based on it? For instance, we go to sleep at night, the road outside is dry. When we get up, we find the road to be wet. So we infer that it must have rained. We didn't see it. But it was based on what? If you had seen the rain, then it would have resulted in that. So our inference is also based on perception only. So it says, based on what we perceived, we respond. If the perception is faulty, our responses will be improper. A deaf person cannot easily articulate words as he has never heard sounds. So generally they say deaf and dumb, they go together. If he is deaf, he won't be able to speak also. Hence, the senses play a very important role in our lives. Every department in an organization has a departmental head who is responsible for managing and controlling the functioning of that department. This we have seen in everyday life. Even an automatic machine needs a person to maintain it regularly, to switch it on off, and to repair it when in need. Hence, without a sentient entity, the inert cannot function. So, in between you get those principles, that law. Without this sentient entity, the inert will not function. This becomes a law. What else did we see? That anything that is born will die. Anything that changes is inert. So these are some of the basic things. Wherever they come, you make a note of it somewhere. In the Hindu scriptures, these sentient beings that control the functioning of the various functions of the universe are said to be 33 crores in number and are called devatas or presiding deities. It is to be clearly understood that the Hindus believe in one God, Ishwar alone. But they accept that every functional head draws his power, strength, and knowledge from the one omnipotent God. So, whatever be the form of the God, the power drawn by the God is only from that same source, one God. You may worship anyone, but the source remains the same. Dig Devata heads the faculty of hearing as sound travels in the medium of space. Dig is the name for space. Dig Devata. Vayu, the air, controls touch. Surya or sun is the source of all light on earth, and seeing is possible only in the presence of light. Hence, sun is the deity of sight. A dry tongue has no taste. When we hear of something tasty, our mouth waters. Varun or water is the deity of taste. The two Ashwani Kumars guide the sense of smell. The conditions of the senses are known to me. Hence, I am different from them and the objects they perceive. This you again note down. This becomes a law. The known is different from the knower. The knower is different from the known. So if I know something, that I cannot be. Here I asked you last time, we had studied that Atma is not the gross body. So we had said that is so because the gross body keeps on changing. And Atma does not change. Now out here, we are talking of the subtle body, one of which is the organs of sense perception. So here, how is it not the Atma?
Because it's changing.
Yeah, they're changing, but if you read what Guruji Swami Tejomayananda has said, he's saying the condition of senses are known to me. Me means Atma. Hence, I am different from them and the objects they perceive. Is it clear or not? Ira is thinking. Yeah.
Arunji, the fact that we can perceive them is one of the factors that we say, since we can perceive them, so I'm different from them.
Yes.
Right?
You see, it is like this. Your eyes are perceiving the roop, the form.
Yeah.
Now, your ears are perceiving the sound. Now, is your mind perceiving the eyes and the ears what they are perceiving, or not? Are the eyes and ears seen by your mind or not? Don't you say my eyes are seeing? And is your mind also seen or not? My mind is thinking this.
Yeah.
Your intellect is also seen, I am analyzing like this.
Yeah.
So who is behind all this?
I.
That I. That is the
that's Atma.
That is the Atma. Ira, is the difference clear?
The one who's watching all of this.
Yeah, the one who's watching all this, but not participating, mind you. That is the Sakshi part. So, the one who's watching is the Atma and is the owner of all these, but he is not taking part in anything. Got it?
Yeah.
So, he said that because all these conditions of senses is known to me, therefore I am not these things. Then we come to organs of action, karmendriyani. So this was vak, pani, pada, payu, pasthat, pasthaniti, panch karmendriyani. Vacha is speech. So vak is speech, pani is hands, pad is feet, payu is your organs of excretion, upastha is the organs of procreation. These are the 5 panch karmendriyani, organs of action. Vacho Devata Vahnihi. Now we are talking of the presiding deities. Of the speech, the presiding deity is fire. God of fire you have heard of, na? Even when we do हवन, तो अग्नि देवता को ही हम सब आहुति देते हैं. So वाचो देवता वहनी, हस्त्यो इंद्रः, of the hands, the presiding deity is Indra, Lord Indra, who is the head of all the devatas. Padyoho Vishnuhu. So of the feet, the presiding deity is Vishnuhu, Lord Vishnu. Payoho Mrityuhu. Of the organs of excretion, the presiding deity is Lord Yama, or the Lord of Death. Upasthasya Prajapatihi. Of the organs of procreation, the Lord is Prajapatihi. Iti Karmendriya Devataha. These are the devatas of the organs of action. Now, what are their objects? We had done the objects earlier, na? Vacho Vishaya Bhashanam. Of the organ of action, of the organ of speech, the Vishaya is speech, Bhashan. Paniyoho Vishayaha Vastu Grahanam. Of the hands, the object is to grasp. Vastu Grahanam, to grasp objects. Padyo Vishaya Gamnam. Of the feet, the Vishaya is Gamnam, to move, locomotion. Payoho Vishaya Mal Tyagaha. Of the organs of excretion, the Vishaya is to throw out the waste, Mal Tyag. Upasthasya Vishaya Anand Iti. Of the organ of procreation, the Vishaya is pleasure. Full stop. Right? So, any questions, whatever you have done in this, is basically he's defined it, and then we'll study each and everything. Anything that comes to your mind, whatever you have done today? Yeah.
Arunji, the deity for Upasthasya
Yeah.
is Prajapati.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Prajapati is Lord Brahma.
Brahma. Okay.
He is the creator.
Okay.
So naturally, he is the Lord of procreation, of creation. Huh? He has many names.
Yeah.
So Prajapati is one of them.
Oh, one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other question?
Will the explanation of what is a deity also come? Or that-
Come again.
What is a deity?
Oh, deity. I told you, no, we believe, like Guruji had said, for anything you require some supervisor. For instance, you have a machine at home, somebody has to put it on and off. This is the example he gave. So, I said, a dead man has eyes, but does a dead man see? Do those eyes see? The eyes are the same. But if you take those eyes and put them into somebody who is blind, he might start seeing. Those very eyes. No, you can, because this is what they do, they take out the eyes of a dead man and put them into a blind man. Then they start seeing. So that means the power to see is somewhere else, not in that physical organ. Am I right?
Yeah.
Making sense?
Yeah.
So that power which enables the eyes to see is the presiding deity.
So it's like a life force.
Is a life force. So life force for each organ is different. Now, why is it that? You may understand it like this, that when we go to the Vedas, then there are mantras for empowering everything. So supposing you are having a problem with the eyes, so they will ask you to propitiate the presiding deity of the eyes. So mantras will be related to Lord Sun and so forth. So if those presiding deities are adequately propitiated, then what they are presiding over will be taken care of also. That is the logic. Any other question? अनिल जी आप कुछ?
मेरे हिसाब से तो मतलब अगेन जो लार्जर कॉन्टेक्स्ट है, ये तत्व विवेक हम कर रहे हैं, रियलिटी को हम समझ रहे हैं। तो उसमें जैसे भगवान शंकराचार्य बता रहे हैं कि नित्य एक है जो ब्रह्म है या आत्मा है, आत्मा हमारे केस में, और फिर आत्मा क्या है तो वो बता रहे हैं क्या नहीं है। मेरे को लग रहा है कि वो समझना कि हम ये नहीं है, कि स्थूल शरीर हम नहीं है, ये तो माँ के गर्भ में था, पैदा हुआ, बढ़ा, मैच्योर करेगा, फिर डिक्लाइन करेगा और डाई करेगा। फिर इसी तरीके से जो सूक्ष्म शरीर है तो और फिर एक एक इंद्रिय में जा रहे हैं। बट जो तार की समझने वाली बात है कि इस सब में भी वही चैतन्य इनको प्रकाशित कर रहा है। अब बीच में देवता आ जा रहे हैं, जैसे इसमें भी गुरुजी यही कह रहे हैं कि भाई अलग अलग फंक्शन है, अलग अलग देवता हैं, इनकी प्रिसाइडिंग डीटीज हैं। कोई कंपनी है, उसका सीईओ है, फिर अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं। तो जो मूल बात है वो एक चैतन्य जो है वो थ्रू देवतास एंड थ्रू दिस इनर्ट बॉडी को वो कर रहा है। और ये बॉडी अनित्य है और ये वो नहीं है। और हम सब कुछ जो है इसी के साथ जो तादात्म्य करते हैं। तो इस पूरे प्रोसेस में जो मेरे को लगता है सार की बात है वो तो यही है कि हम रियलिटी को एग्जामिन कर रहे हैं, जो चेंज नहीं करती है। तो ये सब चेंजिंग है और इसमें हम ये सारी बातें करते हुए मूल को हम जो मेन हम लाइक दिस इज एन एनालिसिस ऑफ रियलिटी, तत्व विवेक प्रकारम। तो मुझे लगता है वो याद रखें और सुबह से शाम तक जीवन जीते वक्त भी जो है उससे अगर हमारा संपर्क रहे, उस रियलिटी से अनचेंजिंग, तो जो ये मन है, जो हमारा सूक्ष्म शरीर है, वो अगर उससे जुड़ा हुआ है और ये सारा अभ्यास जो हम कर रहे हैं ये उसी का है। तो इसमें ये डिटेल्स इम्पोर्टेंट है, बट मूल चीज वो है कि हम एक अविनाशी अनचेंजेबल जो रियलिटी है
So, over here what Anilji is saying, उसके लिए साधन चतुष्टय बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट हो जाता है, बिकॉज ही इज पॉइंटिंग आउट नित्य अनित्य विवेक। ऑन गोइंगली आप अगर अनित्य को और नित्य को भेद कर पाएंगे तो आप जो नित्य आत्मा या ब्रह्म है उसके साथ आपका रमण हो जाएगा। मतलब आप कौन है वो भी एक क्वेश्चन आ जाता है, बट therefore sadhana chatushtaya becomes very very important. So we'll talk more of it next time. Thank you Anil ji. Yes Anu ji.
मेरे को एक और चीज अरुण जी और अनिल जी वो लगा कि जैसे हम धीरे धीरे पढ़ रहे हैं ना, कि पहले हमने नाउ दैट वी आर रीडिंग अबाउट ग्रॉस बॉडी, subtle body, now we are coming to sense organs. हमारा क्या होता था पहले, एवरीथिंग वाज कंसिडर्ड, दिस इज ऑल पार्ट ऑफ अस. हमने स्टार्ट इससे किया ना. सो धीरे धीरे करके वी आर काइंड ऑफ एलिमिनेटिंग ईच वन एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि दिस इज नॉट अस. फाइनल क्रक्स वही एनर्जी जैसे आप कह रहे हैं कि ऑब्वियसली आत्मा है जो इज नेवर चेंजिंग एंड एवरीथिंग. और ये धीरे धीरे करके हम एलिमिनेट करे जा रहे हैं कि ऑल दीज थिंग्स दैट वी रिलेटेड टू बी पार्ट ऑफ आवर बॉडी आर रियली नॉट एक्चुअली पार्ट ऑफ अस. बेसिकली नॉट बॉडी, आई मीन पार्ट ऑफ अस.
जी हाँ, हाँ जी, हाँ जी, बिल्कुल. आत्मा इज टू बी सीन एज वन विच इज अनचेंजिंग एंड अ साक्षी टू ऑल व्हाट्स हैपनिंग. एब्सोल्युटली. ठीक है जी. सो और वही नित्य अनित्य विवेक भी आ जाता है. ऑन गोइंगली जो कर लेगा वो ही इज ऑन द पाथ. सो आई विल से द कंक्लूडिंग प्रेयर. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. May the Lord's blessings be with all of us, that may we reach our destination. Hari Om. Thank you.